thought of how Okarun probably would have a Smash Bros cut if he was black. Had to draw it. Hashtag DanDaDan. If Okarun was black, I would probably be scared of the size of his Ayo and run away lol. Dude!
When a good thing goes bad,
I was working on another DanDaDan video, and then over the past 2 days, there's been a stink. Of course, mainly X, Twitter is what it is, where people have been talking about the blackwashing of anime characters. Now, what that means is that anime characters, for the most part, are Asian. They're not white. Anime characters are viewed as Asians by the Japanese themselves. But some of these characters go from Asian to black by artists, fans of the series online, who are African American for the most part. And you see this time and time again, where let's say be with comics, TV shows, but predominantly as of late, it's been with anime characters. So there's been a stink because someone did artwork of Okarun and Momo, the main characters of DanDaDan, and the Japanese caught wind, and things kind of cascaded down from there. So yes, this is a DanDaDan issue that does not involve chibi reviews. Whoa! That's magical.
That's impossible!
That is a shining rare Pokemon. That is as rare as finding Bigfoot or Nessie, unironically. Though to be fair, he is talking about it, obviously, because it does involve one of the voice actors of the characters of the show, Okarun, the main character of the show, Ken, where the voice actor AJ chimes in his own way, and then
And everyone loses their minds.
This is interesting for sure. And I was like, you know what? I do reactions to this show on my Cole Son YouTube channel. Check them all out there. But first done on my Patreon, link in the box below. Shameless promo. And I figured, you know what? Let me take that other video, put it to the side for now, and let's talk about some blackwashing right now for anime characters. And as far as I can tell, this really stemmed from the artwork done by a person named Lynn online, where Lynn did artwork of Okarun, Ken, and Momo as black characters instead of the Asian characters. And this went viral to the point where the Japanese caught wind of it. They responded to this. Even though if you're a DanDaDan fan, some folks may now view you as racist. Why is that? Because now people are saying that DanDaDan fans are now Cluck Clan. Cluck Clan. What is going on, bro? This is, it's funny. It's funny and it's fascinating because not only is it spurring on a lot of discourse about blackwashing of itself, where you take these, again, anime characters that are viewed to be Asian characters into black characters. And I'm willing to guess that a lot of this probably ties online to some history where people that have done artwork like this have also probably come at other people that have done the reverse. Let's say they have done some whitewashing, or they made, let's say, the character skins lighter for other characters. I can only really guess as I've seen things in the grapevine here and there over the course of the years. But again, the discourse on this now dialed back to a 10, with DanDaDan being the focal point. You're seeing like a counter to that, where now some folks are taking predominantly black or tan-skinned characters and making them into white characters. And not for fun on their own time, but like as a specific response to the blackwashing of Okarun and Momo. Not Asian, white.
White woman!
I fixed Miriko, where Miriko now goes from a black or tan-skinned girl in the MHA My Hero Academia story to a white blonde girl with green eyes. And because there's a response to Lynn, the person that made the blackwashed image of Okarun and Momo, it's very, very clear what they're getting at here. And seeing the counter to the counter to the counter, my goodness, they really are doing the most, man. People are taking this to heart. There is history here. Listen, as a DanDaDan fan, I just like the show a lot. I think DanDaDan is hype. So as a DanDaDan fan, not a Clan fan, but as a DanDaDan fan, I think this was very interesting. I ain't gonna lie to you. And I was even more intrigued when the voice actor for Okarun, AJ, got involved. If you don't know, AJ's also black.
Hello, monkey.
There is a post capture of him taking the image that Lin did and making that image into his profile picture. Hashtag new profile pic. This is fire. Thank you. Ken Takamura, DanDaDan, English voice actor supports blackwashing art. Also think white VAs can't voice people of color, but not vice versa. English voice actor, again, exposing racism and hypocrisy, again, showing we need to clean house in the voice acting industry. Good luck with that. I'm here to tell you right now.
We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Hear me out. Just hear me out, okay? None of this is official material that is backed up by any studio or co-signed by the author or any of that stuff. None of it is official base. All it is fans of the series. That's very important here. It's fans of the series showing their appreciation for the show that they like by literally changing the race of the character of that show. Now, that may be odd to some people, obviously, but clearly not to many black folks online that want to show their appreciation in some way, because they wouldn't be doing that unless they actually enjoyed the show in some way. And I'll say this too, whether it's bringing a character from skinny to fat or vice versa, whether it's bringing a character short or tall or vice versa, where they go from being, my goodness, human to furry.
Good Lord, man.
Or vice versa. Please, vice versa. Or any other alteration, modification, tweak. If you want a gender bender character, if you want to whitewash a character, and let's say the character goes from black to white, or they go from black to Asian, or they go from black to Native American or Indian, whatever you want to do, go for it. Whatever. Here's the thing, the knife cuts all ways. It's an omnidirectional blade, like Mr. One from One Piece. If someone wanted to take Mr. One and make Mr. One Asian,
We'll do it live. F it.
that's what it is. Some folks may not like it. Who cares? They can kick rocks. That doesn't mean that they can't comment or have a response, of course, especially when you put that in the public eye. Whether it's fire or not, if it's controversial, it's controversial and people will comment. As long as what you're doing isn't illegal, or let's say you're using it to harass and demean people in some really twisted way, then have fun. One of the beauties of artwork is the freedom of expression, and we're supposed to value that. If someone wants to draw a picture of Okarun and Momo as Waffen SS soldiers in the 1940s,
Sie wollen beweisen, dass Sie aus Fleisch und Blut sind. Dann bringen Sie sie mir.
I'm gonna lie to you, that's kind of crazy. But if that's what you want to do,
then cook.
if you put it in public, expect some words. Absolute. I'm in there too, but we don't have the right to stop you. Other folks may actually like that. Or let's say it's a meme play where let's say you have Okarun is Adolf and then you have Momo as Goebbels and then they're doing that meme kiss. Hey, I ain't lie to you. That sounds pretty funny to me. So again, because none of this is official, none of this really matters. If AJ wants to take the Black Okarun and make that his profile picture and have words in the past about how he feels the industry should work, people are allowed to like that or not like that. Just how you have Chibi going, yikes, ooh, oh my God. And then obviously the comments of what he said in the past, he's allowed to say yikes to that too. Now is there a bottom line to every business? And is it wise to do it? That's a whole different matter. Wisdom and freedom are not on the same playing field. And again, I would say these comments really matter because, again, this knife cuts all ways. Just as we've seen characters, both fictional and non-fictional, go from male to female, from white to black. Also, they've gone from black to white, or tan skin to non-tan skin. For example, Avatar, the Netflix Avatar, Sokka and Katara, what is going on there? Who? I'm not used to that version of Katara and Sokka. And if it really bothered me, I'll just kick rocks. You have that freedom, you have that ability. And the crazy part is that Sokka is actually the best character in that show. And for animes, One Piece fans would know, Robin fanboys and fangirls like myself, we've been complaining about this to this day. The Toei switch up is official, mind you, not some fan-made hoo-ha, official. We can take this a step further by going into the comments of the whitewashed version of Miriko, because there were also some Japanese responses to this as well. And I thought one comment was pretty interesting, and I quote, "Why is the response to a painting that makes a Japanese person black is to make the Japanese person white? People overseas really believe that Asians have no human rights because they are blackwashed and whitewashed at the same time. Now, this I think is a very intriguing take on a Japanese point of view looking at this situation. Because when you think about it, Japan is a nation that is like 97% homogenous. The vast majority of folks that live in Japan are Japanese, not folks that visit. Because I visited in October, fantastic trip. The best trip vacation I've had ever, honest to God. And we're going back. Absolutely. Me and my boys are going back. Most def. However, only about 3 or 4% of people that live in Japan are non-Japanese. And an even smaller percent of those people would be Westerners from abroad that were able to move permanently and live in Japan. They're not like America, where America is clearly a giant experiment, a huge melting pot of different cultures and customs and religions and viewpoints and races into one country to see if it works. Japanese people, I think at large, would have no real concept of that, go over their heads as to why so many people across the seas, overseas, particularly in the West, why they focus so much on race. The Japanese view anime characters as Japanese, as Asian. Okarun, Ken, and Momo are not white. So the whitewashing of a character like Miriko as a counter to the blackwashing of Okarun and Momo is not really a good counter. It's not what he thought it was. And even though I understand, I get what Mitarashi is saying on Twitter about how, it's not a white or black thing. Like, we're Japanese. Whitewashing, who cares? At the same time, again, this knife is omnidirectional. It cuts all ways. It's a beautiful thing. You cannot deny the popularity of anime in the West nowadays. Animes in the West, I would say 10 to 15, 20 years even, they have gotten far more popular. More folks now across the world are fans of anime and manga now than they have ever been in the past. Undeniably, it's everywhere. You can thank the internet for that. So back in the day, when you really only had your sort of Toonami time slot and some Sunday morning slots to enjoy some animes, now you can enjoy anime whenever you want to, in whatever way you want to enjoy it in. Honestly, the internet is an amazing thing, but that comes at a cost. And one of the prices that anime and manga has to pay for its global success is other cultures' impact on it. Japanese folks may not understand why the race element is so important to, let's say, folks overseas, and they may yearn to that keep the characters Japanese, keep them Asian in their box, but we are a world that is linked now more than ever. The Pandora's box of the rising sun is open. It's not gonna close.
Oh my god, bro.
Unless there's a massive solar flare that wipes out like 90% of the electronics. Okay, fine. But then we have way bigger things to worry about than Japanese anime and blackwashing. These people that do the blackwashing, or let's say any other alterations, whether it be whitewashing and so on, you would assume very safely, for the most part, that they genuinely enjoy the show that they are altering the characters for. It's very clear that Lin likes DanDaDan, and Lin felt that she could express her enjoyment of that series by doing what? By altering the characters as black characters. And I will admit that as far as I can tell, you see it more, I think, within the black community than you, let's say, with other communities, for sure. Which is why you can argue that, let's say, people would find it more irritating if there's a black version of Okarun than, let's say, a European version with freckles, red hair, the whole 9 yards. And as an American, I wouldn't say that simply changing a fictional character's race is inherently racist, just how changing their gender wouldn't be inherently sexist. But if Asians and Japanese do feel slighted, and there has been some tension building over this, let's say because of blackwashing or vice versa, let's say whitewashing or Asian washing, then there is a chance you can argue, okay, well, they obviously feel that this is racist in some way. People are only mad about this because there was a stink about this online in the Japanese circles, and then that wound up spreading. And they have the right to be mad. But again, the Rising Sun Pandora box is already open. This ain't gonna change anytime soon, if ever at all, because the anime and manga medium is now a global phenomenon, and that is gonna be for better or for worse. You don't hear about this being an issue, let's say, for example, on YouTube, where you have some channels that do modify the characters and make them black. Like, for example, SSJ9K. SSJ! who does Goku and Vegeta as Froku and Frogeta, and does all of these dope rap beats and R&B beats, all these things, while modifying the characters.
He really thought we was gonna let him transform, bro. Hell no. Hell no.
But if the Japanese found out, maybe they would start actually, the honor of Nippon. It's ridiculous. Which is why, again, I have to assume that there was some tension that has been building up for, let's say, I actually have no idea how long, but DanDaDan was the catalyst that set it off. Race representation for a whole list, a whole long list of factors is more important in the Black American or the Black Western communities than it is for other communities in the West and, of course, in the East. I can get to those reasons, but it'll be like a 40-minute video. The idea, though, is that just how the Japanese online have to deal with some blackwashed characters here or there, and typically it's not out of hatred, it's for genuine love of the story. Really nothing, as far as I can tell, any hatred for Asians at all, like what some Japanese may think. You can argue that, well, we have to deal with stereotypes in anime and manga to various degrees, and that includes ones for blacks and Latinos and so on that are pretty on the nose, but arguably a Japanese version of appreciating those cultures in some way too. It's part of the deal of Pandora's box being open. And so ultimately, I return to the wise words of Stephen A. Smith.
We don't care.
We do not care. There's a big stink, there's a big hubbub, but at the end of the day, DanDaDan is still a fire show. The show is hilarious. The animation is on point, full throttle, 9.5 times out of 10. The voice acting, Japanese and English, on point across the spectrum. On point.
Why would I lie? Honest to God, that's my real name, Ken Takakura.
So to me, I can understand why folks are pissed about it. Whether it's blackwashing or whitewashing or Middle Eastern washing or Asian washing, or it's furry washing or it's alien washing, whether it's demonic washing or holy washing, whatever sort of detergent you want to put on that character, since none of this is official by any measure, whether it's the studio or director or authors or editors, none of this is official. So if you want to say it's an issue, I suppose so, but it's an issue that's so low on the totem pole. It is the last rung on the ladder. It really is an issue that has no weight and no merit to it, since at the end of the damn day.
But at the end of the day, right? You can do whatever the f you want to do.
And that reminds me, you should check out my Cole GG gaming content over on my new gaming channel. We have stuff coming on a regular basis. You're going to love that for a damn show. On that note, make sure to hit your boy the thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and click on that bell to join the notification squad. If you're enjoying the content at large, I'm going to catch you guys and gals on the flip side.
See you. Bye-bye.